Hello and welcome to the studio where we paint away the stress of everyday life, and welcome to Wales, UK. So don't forget to click the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up because that helps the channel grow, and not only helps people learn to paint, but it only helps with their mental health as well, because I'm all about mental health and painting to relax. Okay, without further ado, let's have a quick look at the palette and I'll explain what's actually happened in the studio today.
So grab your brush, have a great time, and don't forget to click subscribe. Visit clyde5art.co.uk.
So as you can see, the palette is a complete and utter mess. Why? Because I've already painted the painting once and my camera's decided to go bang. Well, not so much bang, oh dear me, but decided not to work. Yes, and I got dirty paintbrushes, I'm coughing, I'm stressed, but not stressed enough not to paint away that stress of everyday life. So let's practice what I preach and just paint away the stress. So today I thought I would paint this type of thing. Now this is just an idea, this is just an example of what I want to paint. As you can see, these flowers are very compact. There's very little leaves and things in them, and I thought I'm going to use that as an example. Now I've already painted this once, so it should be quite easy and should be quite quick for me. So without further ado, I'm going to grab some tissue paper, grab a brush out of the pot, and I thought, right, okay, let's get some of this lovely. This is a like a Windsor purple, a Windsor blue they call it, but it's very purpley. It is very purpley, as you could see, very purpley. So I'm going to put a bit of this onto the canvas. There we go. And I want these streak marks in. Wouldn't it be funny if this turned out better than the last one I just painted? Most probably it will, because I've already painted it once. But don't worry. If anything happens like that, just continue, take a deep breath, and just move on. Just move on. Don't worry about it. It's not worth worrying. It's only a camera at the end of the day. It's only a lesson. Who cares? I don't mind. All I'm interested in is getting you to paint away that stress of everyday life. And this is going to help me paint away my stress today because of that reason that I just mentioned. So I'm painting on a canvas panel. I was painting on cardboard, but I'm now painting on a canvas panel. And yeah, what a lovely colour. Now I did have some blue, didn't I? Did I have some blue? I've used all my blue. Look, let me just put a bit more blue on my palette. That's just I'm using scrap paints. It's all these little bits of paints that I've been saving up over the years, and I thought, well, let's just use them up, and let's just put a little bit of colour in to the background. This is all we're going to do today, is think about background. And let's put a bit of blue down there now, because I want this quite dark down that area. There we are, bit of dark down there, and we get a little bit of our white. Bring our white up like this. So I was sitting down having breakfast this morning, and I looked on the table and I thought, that's a wonderful little thing to paint, isn't it? How can we simplify that into a lesson? And this is what I do. This is my goal, is to find things to paint, and it's not easy trying to be creative and talk and paint at the same time. You ask anybody that does that and they'll tell you exactly the same thing. It's not easy to concentrate, especially when you have to do things twice. But with any luck, this will be much better. With any luck, I've learned by my mistakes. So I'm just washing my brush very quickly. I'm just grabbing a bit of this yellow ochre. There we are. I want to put a bit of yellow flicking into the background there like that. There we go. Just a little bit of yellow, just flicking into the background. Down there. Put that in there like that. There we are. Just a little bit of colour, a little bit of contrast, just a little bit of colour, a little bit of contrast in the background there, just to make it look a little bit more interesting. There we go. And that's the background done, really. Is it simple as that? So we need to dry that very quickly now with a hairdryer. I'm not too worried if it's not too dry. That's not the problem. Now I was thinking now I got to paint the glass. Now you can use a paintbrush for this if you want to, but I thought I'm going to use a piece of card. Can I use a bit of card? I got one of these plastic cards, and you'd see me doing the masts on the last painting I did. Check the iCards. You know, I turned ships. I had some sailboats and boats and things in there, and I put some masts on like this. I thought let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. Let's put a side there, and we put a side there like that, and maybe we can just put a little bit on the base. Did you get that? If I can do it. There we go. Put a bit of that across. Put a bit of that across there like that. And maybe get a couple of light reflections in. Just like that. There we go. As you can see, there's possibly a glass there. Maybe you're not. Maybe you won't see that. Maybe. I'm just going to put that card down, and I got a little brush here. I'm going to get a little bit of paint. I want to put a bit of paint maybe there like that. Maybe bring that around like that. There we go. Because this has got a chamfer on it. Can you see the chamfer on that? So we need to try and get that in there like that. Maybe let's get a little bit of shadow there. Dampen our brush. And let's just get a little bit of this. This is dioxazine purple, by the way. Dioxazine purple. Or any purple. You can make a purple with a blue and a red. I'm just going to put a bit of shadow. Just on the base there like that. I just ruined the bottom of my glass, but it doesn't matter. A little bit of shadow. Let's correct that now. There we are. Let's put a little bit of a thing in there as well, because you can always see that other side. If you look in the glass, you'll always see the other side of the glass as well. So that's what gives the illusion that it's a glass. There we go. That's what gives the illusion that it's a glass. The other thing I did then, I proceeded, because you can see the stalks, can't you? Now I've decided I'm going to get a little bit of green and a little bit of this purpley colour and make this lovely dark purpley green, and I'm just going to put a few broken lines in like that. Just a few, and put a few of them in. Just maybe like that. Just like that. Just like that. Then what did I do then? I got a brush like this, and I got some of this green. This is Hooker's green, by the way. Hooker's green. And I wanted to put some leaves in. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the brush on, pushing, and making a petal. It's not easy for me to do slowly. I'm not a floral artist, and I don't pretend to be a floral artist, but I do know roughly what a leaf looks like, and that's all you want really, is maybe a couple of representations of leeks. Maybe a few representations of leaves. That's what I meant to say. Leeks. Where do I get leeks from? I thinking about leeks for my tea, I expect. There we are. I'm Welsh. That's what we eat is leeks. Leeks and lamb. Leeks and lamb. Let's get a few more leaves in. A few darker leaves. There we go. Spend a little bit more time than me. Maybe a few leaves over there like that. There we are. Some lighter ones and some dark ones. There we go. Some leaves. Then I got a purpley. I got a one of these foliage brushes for now. And I'm going to go into some purple and some blue. This Windsor Violet. And I'm going to do a little bit of stippling like this. Because these flowers are quite, if you look at them, they're very close knit petals on them, and they look stipply. I can see stipply. You might not see stipply, but I can see stipply. So I'm going to put a few of them stipply plants in like that. And I get a little bit of white. Pitching a bit of my white over there now. Let me get a bit of this white. This is extra thick white, by the way. I'll show you why in a minute. Extra thick white. I'm going to put in a few of these highlights. There you go. A few highlights on them like that. There we are. So some nice flowers there. We could get some blue, maybe. Again, very thick. Put some blue there. A little bit of white showing through. Let's get a little bit of purple. Just to give it a little bit of essence. Now, why I made this thick paint, and if you want to know how I made this thick paint, you want to click the iCards because that'll show you. I'm going to get a bit of paint on the edge of my palette knife. You can use a brush if you want to. I'm just going to use a palette knife because it's easier to keep my hand out of the way. And I'm just going to tap in just like that. Because I want texture. I want texture on this. And it'll look like flowers. Now these are fantastic little paintings that you can do if you're on a craft fair. Now there's no need to buy these big canvases because not everybody can buy those big canvases that you've painted and you spend so much time on because they haven't got the space to hang them in their living rooms and wherever they are. Not everybody has got wall space that they can dedicate to artwork. So why I like painting pictures this size is because somebody might want to put some on a sideboard or in the bedroom or something like that. And these type of things work really well for that. Now I'm going to get a bit of purple. I'm just going to add a little bit of shadow to the bottoms of these, couple of bottoms of these plants, flower heads, whatever you want to call them. There we are. And you can see it's starting to come together. Now you spend a bit more time than I do. You can spend a lot of time on this, but don't overdo it. You need to know when to stop. And sometimes we don't know when to stop. But as you can see, it turns out quite nice. Let's put some, and you've got that little bit of green behind as well. Looking quite nice there, I think. I'm going to stop at that just for now, just to show you that you can play with that as much as you possibly want. And that's the second time I've painted that one. And I don't know what the time is. Let me have a look at my voice recorder. It's 14 minutes. And that's not bad. Give it a try. Give it a whirl. See what you can come up with. Just have fun. Find something that will inspire you and turn it into an easy painting like that. You don't need a lot of detail. That will sell on a craft fair. Guaranteed. I could get $10 to $15 for that quite easily, if not more. So who knows? You don't know until you try. Give it a whirl. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and the notification bells. Give me a thumbs up where you can, because that helps the channel grow. And thank you very much for joining me on this YouTube today. Bye.